In this video we're going to walk you through the process of how we made this indoor raised planter box. So we dismantled that big pallet thing. I think it was a pallet. Big. But now we have to take out all these residual nails, these old screws, because then I want to put it through the planer to hopefully tidy it up a bit, and I definitely don't want the nails to go through the planer. Surefire way to break your blades. So yeah, I'm going to carry these up to the workspace now. Get denailing. So we got the wood up now, ready to denail, de-screw. Why use reclaimed wood? Well, let me tell you. It's good for the planet because you're not chopping down any more trees. And it's good for your wallet because you're not paying for it. But you are paying in sweat equity because it's a lot more work, obviously, than going down the local lumber yard and buying some planks. Not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you. It's actually quite nice to buy new planks, so whatever works for you. If you're up for a bit of a challenge, you want to push yourself physically a little bit, get denailing. If you can't be arsed with all that, then it's the lumber yard for you. But as we're focusing on reclaimed wood in this project, we will be using reclaimed wood. So for taking out these nails, as you can see, they're very bent and they're actually quite thin and rusty. So if I try and knock them out like that, it's not going to pan out too well. So what I tend to do, and this is just my method of doing it, there's many ways to do it. This one works for me. It might work for you too. Is take my compound pliers, because these are extremely powerful. They're much better than the usual pair. I'll go through the nail like this. Take it down a bit. Cut it. So there's just a little bit left. It's easier to hit it, it won't bend. I'll show you what I mean. Do one like this. Right the way through. Then we've got the head there, without having bent anything. Okay, so the nail head's sticking out a long way on this one. With a hammer that's quite hard to get out because you haven't got much leverage. It's also very thin, so it's likely to snap. So what you can do is go in sideways and twist. And then get it out that way. Works quite well. So I've got quite a few of these nails to work my way through. I'm going to do that now. And after we've done that, plane down the wood. If you plan to do a lot of this, it's worth investing in one of these little stud detector, metal detector things. because sometimes you can do a visual inspection of the wood and stuff's embedded, you won't see it at all, and then you'll run it through your planer and then you'll find it. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to do a quick once over with this before I put it through mine. So we got one here that nothing's visible from the other side, only on this side. That looks seriously embedded. So in this case, probably the easiest thing to do is just cut the wood there instead of trying to dig this out, because that looks quite tricky to get to. It looks like a screw or something, I don't know, the end of a screw that's broken off. Right, so back in the workshop this morning. We are going to make a planter box to kick off with that's going to house these plastic inserts. The reason we're doing that is because the planter box is going to go inside, and it will also last a lot longer, so water isn't going to pour out all over the floor, and it will look really nice. So it's going to be 1 meter long by about 18 wide, 16 high. So what we're going to do, use the strips we've got. I'm going to trim them down on the table saw to get rid of this chamfer, and they're too wide anyway. I want to glue them up together to be 16 high. So I will dowel them, because I don't want to make it like a garden centre planter box where you put supports on the inside. I want it to look good. So we're going to do that now. See, so this is why you have to be careful with reclaimed wood. I just whacked this through on the chop saw and very nicely cut through the middle of a screw that's embedded in there, so you can't see it from the top at all. And I see yesterday I drew a line here, which meant I was meant to cut here anyway. That's what happens when you're tired. Although I have slept last night, so maybe today less mistakes. So I've cut the planks down to rough size. I've oversized them a bit because I'm going to dowel them together and then trim the ends to final dimension. They're also quite wide and have a funny chamfer on them, so I'm going to get rid of those, make them 8 centimeter each, glue them together to make 16 high. Then we'll have the bases for the planter box. So reclaimed wood, great for the planet, terrible for my sanity. As I started clamping this up, I realised some of it's rotten in areas. So Clearly, I'm not advocating using rotten wood in projects, but in this case, we haven't got any other wood to continue the project. So unless you want to see the shortest video on YouTube about making a planter, I have to continue with this and we'll see where we go. And that's the nature of woodworking, I guess, especially with reclaimed wood. You're going to come up against this time and again, actually. So let's see what we can do with it. Let's see if we can polish a turd. So we've taken the component parts out of the clamps. Here they are in their glory. I'm going to run them through the planer to get them to final thickness. Then we're going to make the planter box. After that, we're going to make the legs and the base. Right, I have glued the planks, planed them down, dimensioned them to size, and double checked that the plastic inserts fit before I screw them together. Saved me some tears. That's happened before where I've got that totally wrong. Luckily for us, apparently, wood imperfections are trending in 2024. Happy days. There are plenty here to behold. As I say, we are polishing a turd. Real life. Real talk. So I'm going to make the legs now. I'm going to use my little DIY right angle jig to do that. I had some 4x4 left over from a previous job that I've cut down the middle because we didn't have enough to do it otherwise, and it looks a little bit more elegant this way. So here we go. So I have made the legs for the planter. I'm going to put them on now and add some slats to the bottom, and then the planter, once it's painted, will be done. Yes! We've had a few problems along the way, but we've managed to get past them. That's the main thing.